everybody, welcome back to HitPoint, the JRPG podcast and anime news podcast and everything kind of niche podcast that we love. Dude, how are you doing today, Baku?
I am doing great, sir. How are you doing this weekend?
I'm doing pretty darned swell. We had a pretty incredible little bit of news here happen pretty recently. I guess I'll just go ahead and say today's top headline is that Sony State of Play, which, to be honest, I got a little bit of mixed feedback about, which I wasn't really entirely expecting. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But first, Baku, do we want to take a quick look at some feedback that we got from last week's podcast episode?
Yes, absolutely. But first, I can't see a thing in Discord.
Oh, can you not?
No.
Oh, I need to fix that so you can. Okay. Well, what's going on
I'm
here?
like, you started already?
Yeah.
You caught me so off guard. Like, what?
Oh, that's weird. I'm streaming in Discord. I'm sharing my screen in Discord. You should be able to see it.
No, I do not. Can I just redo? Actually, yeah, no, I really don't see it. That's so strange.
That is weird. Here, I'll stop. I'll stop. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
hey everybody. I hope you're all having a great
Hi.
day. All right, let me try this once more. Okay, do you see it now?
I do not. But that's okay. That's okay. I think we can live without it. Let's not keep the good people waiting. How
All
are
right.
you all doing this fine evening? Hi, yes, so slight technical difficulties. But yes, so long and short is I usually is able to see, Derek's screen, so I know like what kind of screen he's panning to. So we can kind of work with that. I can't really do that right now. So you have to excuse us for a little jank here and there tonight. But yes, so speaking of you want to talk about the previous podcast comments? Yes?
Yeah, that's right.
Alrighty, let's go. Okay, so from the last podcast, we got ourselves a comment regarding the Yu Yu Hakusho news from AKA Spade, or I'm actually not sure if it's AKA Spade or Aka Spade, because the person's avatar has got like a lot of red in it, and red, Aka means red in Japanese. So I'm just like, is it Aka Spade or AKA Spade? I'm gonna guess Aka because like the Spade of Red, right?
Sure. Okay.
Anyways. And Aka Spade says, "Man, I was really let down about the Yu Yu Hakusho news. Dang. I'll say though, if you want to experience some live action Japanese shows from the 90s and to early 2000s, I suggest giving tokusatsu shows from that time period a go. I specifically suggest Ultraman Tiga, Chojin Sentai Jetman, QQ Sentai Go Go V, or Go Go 5 probably. Kamen Rider Kuga and Kamen Rider Ryuki. The last four in my list specifically can be watched for free on apps like Pluto TV and Tubi TV. Thank you so much for that suggestions, man. I appreciate it. I love super passionate like suggestions. So hey, more things for me to check out. I am not a big tokusatsu fan. How about you, Derek? Did you grow up watching a lot of like? Do you know well? First of all, do you know what tokusatsu means?
No, I'm getting just based on some of those, like a Kamen Rider. I mean, it sounds kind of like and Sentai. I mean, it sounds kind of like the almost not like the giant monster films, but like the. I mean, a little bit. Like, well, that's something else though. That's got its own.
No, it's actually the same.
Is it?
So whenever you have like actors wearing these like suits to like do these scenes, so like the early Godzilla. I mean, nowadays it's all CGI, but the early Godzilla films are like some of the earliest tokusatsu film where you do like action sequences in these like suits. So Sentai films are totally in because guess what? Those robots, someone is wearing a suit to film those. So yes, so that's what that is, and yeah, totally awesome. Also, this is a good time to sort of talk about it. So yeah, so regarding the Yu Yu Hakusho thing, if you don't know what we're talking about, you missed last hit point, didn't you? Shame on you. But yes, I had mistakenly said that there's a Yu Yu Hakusho remake, which I pretty much immediately corrected myself after searching. But look, folks, there are certain things that we're definitely like bringing up as news items. Like we're very sure, we're double triple checked, and then there are stuff that we just like brought up like from our memories that are just like off
Yeah.
center.
Yeah,
So
when
like
when I
yeah.
send Baku off onto a tangent, don't when we go off script, which is going to be often, don't
Yeah.
take any of that for granted. But when we talk about like news items specifically, we'll do our best to give you the best knowledge to our abilities. But when we go from memory, it's
Please,
we're
please
human.
be gentle. I have feelings, believe it or not.
What?
But
No,
yes,
you
but
don't.
thank you again. Huh?
Lies.
Okay, you're right. I don't.
All right, so we got another one here from just some JoJo who says
Yes.
that there was 2 Pokemon Pikachu Tamagotchis of sorts, in quotes, because Tamagotchi is a brand, and these were obviously not quite of that variety, but they were pedometers more than Tamagotchi devices, though. So you could collect points by walking around to use the to play games with Pikachu, kind of like with Game Boy. There was eventually a version with color, and with that one you could unlock items in Pokemon Gold and Crystal. Only ever had the original one though. Just some JoJo says what, and then it slipped off their belt on their way to school, dropping down 4 floors.
Ah,
That
God.
sucks. I know.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
That was
Like,
what one small step for a 4th grader and one giant leap for a Tamagotchi.
I was waiting for that. I knew it. I hear it in your voice. I'm like, up here he goes. In comes the dad jokes. Okay. All right. Please don't leave. Do not leave me here with this man alone.
Oh man.
But yeah, well, there you go. There are 2 different versions. Thank you so much for letting us know. Now you can collect those and put it in your like 90s room.
Yeah.
90s 2000 room.
You know, my 90s room is actually coming together pretty nicely since we're talking about it for a second. That's kind of what I spent some of my weekend working on. Ended up getting a CRT and like a stereo system and put it all down there. I hooked up a Raspberry Pi to the CRT, and now I'm like streaming old commercials to it and stuff. Oh, it's
what?
Yeah, it's really nice. It's
that's freaking awesome.
So sick. Yeah. It's gonna be great when it really is done coming together. I installed some track lighting down there too. Yeah. It's gonna be really great.
So party at Derek's. Yes. Okay. Just at the corner. Just the corner.
Yeah.
No anywhere else. All right. And then we've got one more from Nanoglitch, who said, I'm really enjoying this new format. However, there seems to come a point in each episode where I don't know. It sounds like someone is just incessantly clicking a pen. I don't know why it bothers me so much, but I end up having to close the video because it never stops. Yeah, that's probably my fault because I get very fidgety when I sit, and I didn't know that the mic is picking it up, but that's a bad habit, and it's going to stop today. Thank you so much for bringing that up. Yeah, so sometimes like these things, like I don't really catch or don't notice. If you guys see anything that's like off, just let us know, like, because we're trying to give you like the best experience we can. So and any future suggestions, it's going to be continuous. It's going to be continuous improvement. Let us know your thoughts on how we can improve always. Thank you so much again.
Yeah, I never would have caught that because even though I edit the videos afterwards into audio form, it doesn't register, but for some people it does. And yeah, I would not have caught that. So thanks for bringing that up, guys.
Yeah. I mean, if it still happens in today's show, then something else is happening, and it's not me because I'm just like, I'm very like hyper like aware now that I'm not going to click on any pans today.
I know. I was like, and the funny thing is, like, somebody sent timestamps even of like when it was around happening, and I was like, what is that? And I was like, is that me? Is that something I'm doing? It could be, but what would it be? So I was like,
pretty sure it was me.
okay,
Pretty sure it was me.
okay, cool.
Yes, not gonna happen again. Okay, so we've got so much to talk about.
Oh my god, that state of play. I mean, between the state of play was one thing, but then I guess let's just start with the start of things here, because this one's looking pretty interesting.
Yes,
Dark Deity. So this is something that I guess we had previously talked about. It rings a bell, but I don't remember a whole heck of a lot about it. When did we talk about that?
So Dark Deity, oh geez, it must have been a show or two ago when it was first announced. And I think we watched like a quick video of it, but I won't take too much time talking about this. So this game originally came out in June 2021. Is like heavily Fire Emblem inspired tactical RPG, and it's got an upgraded Nintendo Switch port coming. So for anyone who's interested in Dark Deity, just a friendly reminder that it's going to be released March 17th for Nintendo Switch. And for anyone who's curious about, whether or not I'm going to get the graphics upgrade that the Switch version has, well, I supported this game on Steam early. Like, I should get those upgrades too. Well, congratulations to you, because you're gonna get those upgrades. So no worries there.
That was the one that we were talking about. Okay, I remember that. That was a couple weeks ago. That's right.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah. So I just want to bring that up, that it is coming in like 4 days. In 4 days, you can get the Switch port if you want to play on Switch. Or I would imagine that you would get the graphical upgrade on the Steam version around that time too. But they didn't give a specific date on that. But they did say that it's going to come in March. So just keep waiting for that.
Yeah. Well, we are in the Ides of March, technically speaking.
We are
just around that time. And it just occurred to me, I skipped one of Beware the Ides of March. So many things I've been skipping around on, but okay. So Chrono Trigger, this was actually what I was looking for, and then I saw Dark Deity. It's like, wait, was that what I was going to talk about? Chrono Trigger. This is another one. Chrono Trigger on Steam actually got a new update, and that's very serendipitous, because I feel like some of that has kind of driven some traffic to my new review of Chrono Trigger, which is really excellent for me. Except here's the problem: I didn't get to play this for my review. Like, I didn't have access to any of it, so a lot of people were like, "Oh, cool! It's so nice that you get to like kind of review it with the new content." I'm like, yeah, but I mean, kind of not really. It's just it's nice that it happened. I mean, okay, so here's what's going on with it, I guess. So after 4 years since the last patch, God, can you believe that it's been 4 years? I remember covering these updates in the JRPG Weekly Update as they came out. I can't believe it's been 4 years. So anyways, the new patch came out of nowhere, which includes some improvements that like they give you like ultra wide support, 21:9 aspect ratio,
21:9,
improved touch screen controls, which I didn't even think that was still a thing on PC, but apparently it is. And they also give you 1.5 times speed, or time and a half speed auto battle. And now you have more save slots if you need more. I don't know how many they had before, but now you've got 20 at your disposal. I am kind of curious about what this trailer looks like, though. Do you want to take a look at this with me?
Yep, let's do it.
All right.
Oh, that music. I'll never get sick of this music.
I know.
Oh my god.
It just looks really nice with this 16:9.
Yeah, here's the improved directional control. So the touchscreen, this is also a mobile patch. So it's more for like mobile gamers.
So you
can play this on like a tablet too, so
Okay, so this is an update that came to both platforms,
PC and mobile. Yeah.
Okay.
PC and mobile.
So here's the thing, I did notice that sometimes you would have widescreen support in the Steam version of the game. However, what I found is that sometimes areas were not supported by the 16:9 aspect ratio or the 21:9 aspect ratio. So like
It's so strange.
like you would be some sections would just have black bars on the side, basically.
Right. I almost want to get an ultra wide monitor just to try this. I want to go borrow an ultra wide monitor from a friend or something and just try this because I'm so curious
Whoops, shoot.
about playing this. Well, if you want to look at Dark Deity too, we could do that.
Jeez. I accidentally hit a button that I didn't mean to hit. There we go.
It's okay.
Sorry about that, guys.
We promised a good show and not a very polished one.
Oh my gosh. You know, I'll tell you what it is. I did not get enough sleep last night. I think that's a big part of it.
No. You doing all right, man?
I'm doing all right, but we had the time zone or time switch, you know, for all of us United States livers, United Statesians. What do we call ourselves even? That's how tired I am. And
Americans.
Yeah, United States of Americans. I always feel like Americans is just that's a little I don't know. The phrase calling ourselves Americans has always felt a little presumptuous, I think, because like there's like North America, like there's Canada and there's Mexico, but there's also South Americans, like and all kinds Central Americans. It's like to call ourselves Americans is a bit I don't know about that. It's like
very US centric, right?
I mean,
it's like no, we are the Americans. Like we're the only ones that matter.
I mean, the entire Western hemisphere is American in some way. so like to refer to ourselves as Americans, it always feels like, wait a second, is that really what we actually call ourselves? Like,
yep, that's what we've decided.
Is there no better? Oh, geez. Anyways,
it really is.
I am very sleepy. Anyways, so what I was getting at, guys, is that yeah, I'm a little sleep deprived. Didn't sleep super well when I got sleep last night, but we'll make our way through this show at some point. We'll get through it.
We got this. We got this.
Baku's gonna carry this stream.
I'll try my best. All right, next up, we've got ANNO Mutationem. It's a very strange name. Mutationem. Yeah, it's going to make a lot more sense why I added this thing in here once you see the video. And I think you're going to be pretty impressed.
Is this the same ANNO that like Linus from LTT is always talking about? Like the huge like real-time world building City thing? Okay, probably not.
Absolutely not. Yeah, because this game is not even released yet.
Okay.
So this is a cyberpunk action adventure game with a super unique mixed use of pixelated 2D and 3D graphics. It's got pretty cool looking side-scrolling combat, and it's even got a fishing mini game. So yeah, you want to queue up the video and take a look at it really quickly?
Yeah, let me pull this up here.
I think it looks phenomenal.
Oh, come on.
Oh, there we go.
I got it. Okay, this looks pretty interesting.
Yeah,
yeah,
right?
This is definitely not the ANNO that Linus talks about a lot.
Mutationem.
Okay, that's pretty good looking.
Yeah.
Huh. Parts of it look like it's polygonal, and then parts of it like when she was running before, it looked like it was polygonal, but it's not. It's a mix. Oh god, it's trippy. I kind of dig it.
Yeah. You can walk around town in terms of this mixed 2D, 3D environment.
Yeah. Okay, hold on. Oh, that's
You can
something.
work as a bartender.
Here's something that I gotta say that I'm not a super big fan of. As I watch this, the pixel art is it's good pixel art, but like it's done up with like a paper doll style where like the whole, you know what I mean?
Like the joints, it just, you know,
Well, I mean, like
it's kind of mobile gamey.
a little bit, like because like the pixels can go at like a slight diagonal if you keep an eye on that. Like they're not actually, the pixel art isn't actual like on a grid. Like look at, you see like the pixel like rotates a little bit there. Like
yes,
yeah, that bugs me. I mean, I get it.
it's probably easier to do.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the boot bounces, I mean, it's hard to keep the pixel consistent.
That is, well, that's true. If that's important to you.
It is very important to somebody. They spend a lot of time on it.
Okay, so it's a side-scrolling kind of, yeah. Okay, so it's an action RPG-ish.
The music's pretty cool. I just think it's got a really unique aesthetics. I mean, steampunk, of course, but I get a good what's the word? What's that thing called? Dang it. Ghost in the Shell.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got some Ghost in the Shell sort of like feels from this.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's the that's ANNO.
Yeah.
Cats knocking things down everywhere. So I think this is, I'm not sure. I think this is actually from a Chinese developer, which is pretty interesting. They had a whole like they had like a whole thing for like trying to get more small indie developer in China to be more engaged. I forgot which company it was. I think it was through Sony.
Yeah.
Sony had a big Sony. Yeah.
A while ago, yeah, Sony had a big conference where they were trying to build up Chinese developers and indies, and they were doing a big push for things. It was at that big conference that I remembered reporting on that somebody busted a PS4 in protest of them supporting the at the time it hadn't been out yet, but the trailers came out for Genshin Impact, and and the person who broke the PS4 in protest was upset that that they were blatantly copying the styles of Wind Waker, or not Wind Waker, of Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. Yep. Yeah. I remember that one.
Yep. That was,
boy.
What a wild time. That was back when people could worry about that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh my god. I always look at Genshin Impact as the game that I don't support, but also the game that I like in terms of its existence, because it drives Japanese developers crazy, and I love it.
It drives them crazy? Does it really?
Oh, absolutely.
Why?
Absolutely. If you think Square Enix and Capcom and all these companies are not absolutely distraught and bothered by Genshin Impact,
why? Because it's like a big Chinese developer like gaining traction, or
no, because they could have done it and they didn't.
Oh,
they had every chance to have made their own Genshin. I mean, it wouldn't have been called Genshin, it would have been called like
something
anything else. Yeah, but they had all the resources, they have all the talents, they have all the people. I mean, Square Enix has tried to make mobile games for how many years now, and they keep flopping one after another. That's why I don't care about Square Enix mobile games. Their service just keeps closing. After a year, 2-year operation, they close, like, because no one plays it. Like, we got like 500,000, people, subscribe to this game pre-launch. Oh my god, and they drop off just as quickly. Right.
Yeah.
Right. So all that hype, like, oh my god, 1 million players. Yeah. No. No. we get it. Server costs cost money, and you have to make new content, and you have to depend on people to buy your premium goods and what have you. But look at how successful Genshin is. Then they have all the talent. It's like Japanese style animation, animated arts. Like no one can argue. Like
Mhm.
when it comes to character design. And you know what hurts them the most is that I think one of the most recent update in Genshin. I don't play Genshin, but one of the most recent update on Genshin, the world has the player go into a world that's very reminiscent of like Japan, right? So
Yeah.
it's just like, ooh, doesn't that hurt? Ooh, oh yeah, they're doing it and they're doing it better, and you're just so mad at this. You
Yep.
wish you did this and
Yep.
you didn't. So um
Genshin is eating their lunch right now.
I love it because that points to their complacency. Just like, yeah, you could have done this, but you didn't. So work harder. Too bad. You had so many years, you had so
Mhm.
much resources. You could have done this a decade ago. It's not difficult, but you didn't. So
Yep.
suck it up. Like, what are you gonna do? But also don't support the game. So,
Yeah.
but that's a different story for a different day. By the way, I did see a super chat pop up. Just want to remind everyone that we will read the super chat at the end of the stream. If there anything
Mhm.
that's just burning, you want our opinions, you just respect us so much, or maybe just Derek. I don't know. It could be just Derek. Listen, I'm not
That's
mad,
not it.
but if you throw super chat at us, you ask Derek a question. I might chime in on it just to not feel like I'm left out. Uh, Alrighty. So if you like what you saw with Anno, Mutationem, that's a very odd name. If you're interested in that game, it's also coming out in March 17th, which is in about 4 days.
Yeah.
Well, 3 days or so. Yeah.
That's
So
close.
check it out.
It's coming
Yep,
out
it
on
is.
Steam, right? Just
The
Steam.
Steam. Actually, no, sorry, that's PS4. PS4, I
Oh
believe.
yeah, yeah.
And Steam.
PS4, PS5, and
PS4,
Steam. I
5,
see it. I
Steam.
see it
Yes,
here.
yes, yes,
Excellent.
yes.
Awesome.
Alrighty. Now on to the thing that our mod Dual Beer is super excited about. Like he hasn't shut up about this game since
Oh.
the announcement.
Oh, Duo Beer.
Every chance. Oh,
Yeah.
Dual Beer. Dual
Yeah,
Beer.
yeah.
Yes.
That Duo
Dual
Beard.
Beer. That
Yeah.
Dual Beer just
Mhm.
wouldn't shut up about this game. And if you guys have been to either of our stream, you would know that we're talking about Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. But if you've been living under the rock, this game is developed by Team Ninja from Koei Tecmo. It is
Mhm.
a collaboration between them and Square Enix. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that game.
It seems like a really chaotic game, I just got to say it outright. Yeah. So
Please
you
don't leave me
recently
alone with
played
this
a little bit
man.
of the demo though, didn't you?
I did,
Well,
and I've got to say, as it stands right
is
now,
it
it is not a
chaotic?
place. It is. Stop! I am walking away from the show. I cannot. Nothing bothers me but the puns. Well, actually, you say that, but it is actually kind of chaotic. But not in a good way. Not in a way that they thought it would be. Like the controls is just not great. But we can talk
Mm.
about it in a little bit.
Okay.
So this is a story about an angry man out to kill chaos, according to Tetsuya Nomura. True story.
Mhm.
Quote him. According to Tetsuya Nomura, this is his vision of a story about an angry man in an interview, which is hilarious. But also, this is a reimagining prequel of sort to the original Final Fantasy game, hence the name Final Fantasy Origin. So
Mhm.
that's the pretty cool part. Yeah.
Yeah, I did
Final
like
Fantasy,
that. I did
yeah.
like that
Mhm.
twist and that approach. It seems like it could be really interesting from a storyline perspective.
Mhm. You know
I
what that
hope it works
reminds me
out.
of a little bit? So like Magnificent, right? Like the movie,
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
kind of
Oh yeah,
it
yeah.
has that kind of feeling. Like, yes,
Mhm.
Snow White is the original work, and then you have this like prequel thing, like how did the villain came to be, sort of situation.
Yeah.
So this game, spoiler alert. Well, I mean, is it really spoiler alert at this point? Like they've heavily hinted on a couple of things, but
Yeah, let's
let's
hold off. I mean, the game's not
yeah.
out yet, and anything we would
Mm,
say is still pure
mm,
conjecture. Um,
mm.
maybe
Yeah.
it's a psych out. Maybe that's what it is. This whole thing is just the mother of all fake outs.
You're giving Square Enix way too much credit.
I know, it's Tetsuya Nomura.
I mean, have you not seen Final Fantasy 15? What fake out? What fake out? Oh god, don't get me started with FF15.
Yeah, I
But
haven't played that
anyways,
yet. No spoilers.
yes. Anyways, join Jack and his band of warriors in this hardcore action RPG, stated by Square Enix.
The
They've
core of
called it
this
the
RPG is
they
so hard.
called it a hardcore action RPG from their website. You can go and look at it. In this totally not isekai journey, absolutely no isekai whatsoever.
No.
Nope, not at all. The guy's wearing like Jordans. Like I swear, one of the dudes wearing Jordans.
He looks like he came straight out of the inside of a fashionable male or something.
Yes, like GQ, right?
Mhm.
This is like, oh god.
He looks like a walking, like he just looks like a walking brand sponsorship. I just expect
Yes.
like every once in a while to like see like, oh, he's wearing a, I don't know, maybe a Timex. This guy,
like a Louis Vuitton spring 2022 collection item for
something like
men.
that. Maybe I
Something
don't
like
know.
that. Yeah.
I was gonna say
mean,
Rolex, but I don't know. He seems a little more, maybe not that high class. I don't know.
I mean, did you remember the LV collaboration with Final Fantasy 13?
No.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
that was the thing
wait. There
with Lightning.
no. Wait,
Yes.
okay. I'm thinking of
That was
something
the
else though.
thing.
I was thinking of like a really awesome Final Fantasy VII remake watch, I
Yeah.
think.
That was Citizen.
Okay.
That's a Citizen watch, and I think that's Final Fantasy 14. It's the
Okay.
black and purple one, and there's also like a white pearl one that looked really good. I'm trying to get my friend to sell me the black and purple one, but anyways, let's move on. That's a different story.
Yeah.
A different day.
Let's move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah. So in the land of Cornelia, where the original Final Fantasy took place, I've been
Mhm.
educated about that from a certain huge fan of the game that wouldn't shut up about it. Whereas Square Enix has also not so subtly hinted there will be some plot twists surrounding Jack's origin. His black crystal, his relationship with the Fable Warriors of Light, how there are 4 Warriors of Light, but there are only like, not 4 of them here. So, wonder what that could mean. So, if all that sounds interesting to you, the game is coming out March 18th. On PS4, PS5, Xbox One,
Yeah.
Series X and S, and PC. You can pre-order it right now for early access, some special weapons, and oh my god, a PS4 theme, which is only relevant because we can't get PS5s.
I know.
If you order from Best Buy, you get a bonus steelbook case, but just for the love of God, do not have them mail it to you because it's going to dent. Because I've had that happen to me before. If you are gonna get the steelbook bonus item, just pick it up from a local Best Buy. That's my advice to you.
Or GameStop or anywhere. I don't like Best Buy's all right, I guess.
Well, that's the thing is, this is a Best Buy.
Oh, this is this is a Best Buy.
Best
Okay.
Buy bonus.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so the Best Buy bonus is a steelbook case. So if that sounds like a thing you want, drop by a local Best Buy, pick it up in person.
Man,
that way, yep.
I really can't stand vendor exclusives like that. Like I don't like. At least they're not like Micro Center exclusives where you have to be like driving like all the way to California to get to one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have one like not too far away from me. So
lucky. You're so lucky.
Sorry.
I hate
Actually,
you.
I have two that's not too far away from me.
Stop hogging them all, Baku. Let the rest of us have some Micro Centers, please.
Have some like, oh my god, Micro Center is so good. Their CPU and motherboard deals just bar none. No one can beat them.
I know.
Yeah, so this game will feature online multiplayer co-op, which is pretty cool. And the demo that's out right now, the save file fully transferable to the full game. So if you have not played the demo and you're interested, why not try the demo? Try the demo, see if you like it. I personally didn't like it too much. The control was chaotic. Okay, sorry. It's just not the same when it's coming from me. Like it's just not the same. But yeah, but I didn't feel like that game was for me. And as I was playing the game, as I was streaming the game, you're like, oh, you just need to get good, and I'm like, yeah, but do I want to get good?
That's a very
Do I
important question.
do I want to get good in this? Because I have to learn the buttons. I have to like familiarize myself
Mhm.
so that's like second nature. But it's just so like the button placement is so off putting that I'm just like, do I want to like get good at this? Do I want to rewire my map, my
Yeah.
brain just to play this thing?
I'll quote
I'm not
myself.
convinced. Yeah.
I'll quote myself here from when I joined your stream and you were talking about this, and I'll say, I feel like in order for us to want to get good, the game first has to be good in order for me to want to invest that time and effort into getting good. Like if it's like Dark Souls difficulty, but with like the plot of Quest 64, like I'm not saying that that's what it is, but if it was
Right.
something like that, like I wouldn't want to get good. Like
Mhm.
how much, like the amount of effort you put into a game should be equal or at least like representative of the amount of joy that the game brings to you in return, right?
Yeah, proportional at
Yeah,
least,
that's the
right?
word. That's
Yeah.
the word.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, wise and funny, and that's why we like Derek.
Ah, yes. That's
Did you want
so
it?
that's the one. That's the reason.
Mm-hmm.
I
Did
can
you
never
want to see
figure
the
it out.
trailer or no?
Of Stranger Paradise? Yeah, let's go ahead and take
Yes.
a quick gander here if we could. I
Yes.
haven't
So
I have,
people,
oh my god,
in
this is a
case,
5-minute trailer. I don't know if
is
we're
it
gonna
really?
I don't think we're gonna watch the whole thing,
Yeah.
but yeah, we'll go ahead and
Watch some.
we'll give it a gander
Yeah.
here.
I thought I gave you the minute version.
Watching you risk your lives to save us made me realize something. I was wrong before.
Huh.
Mia and I must
mean, it's-
survive.
A pretty game.
We must become beacons of hope among the chaos that all may look to in times of doubt.
It's the H&M model.
Bravo, Jack. Just tell us about the crystals.
Is this
Those
just
who
me,
are
or
to
is the
forge
thing
the
playing like
future
double?
Mustn't be concerned with
Is it?
trivialities and cut
Yeah.
to the chase.
It's weird.
I think it's just you.
It might be just me.
It might not be just you.
Attachments to this world will just make it harder to do our duty. It's a mercy to forget. Fighting's what I live for.
Did you defeat Tiamat? I am Sophia. Well met.
Sophia, hello.
All I know now is that I want to see this through.
See,
to the
there's
end.
5 of them.
Which makes us warriors of light, like in the prophecy.
That's a bunch of warriors of light.
Don't say it.
No can do. This one's not like the
That's too many warriors.
That's just one too many.
Okay, I mean, it's a good looking game.
It is. It is.
No matter how much you wish it, that season will never come. I am lit. I don't give a
That
damn
looks
who you
really...
are.
The camera swings really
Where did
fast in
come
that.
from?
Yeah.
We're strangers.
Jack,
What was that white room?
Ireland.
It was in the Matrix.
I'm a stranger here, likely to wander off before long.
Nomura do like those white rooms, though.
Forgive me.
He does.
He really does.
Sarah,
We've seen them plenty of times in
Like
Kingdom
you have
Hearts.
this.
Oh yeah, give your
This
crystal
is
away.
very
That makes
special
sense.
to you.
Yeah.
You'll just forget.
I won't.
He had this now.
Yeah.
He had this now.
It's a pretty game. I'll say that much.
Yeah.
But I think
What have I done?
I think that's enough for me for now. It's too much chaos. Oh wait. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
She dropped it.
She done goof. She done goof. Shouldn't have given it to her. Okay.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
I
we-
paused
we
it
could
halfway
stop
through.
there.
That's yeah.
Yeah, no, we're good to stop there. Yeah. Yeah, so the game looks amazing. It didn't play amazing for me, but it could be great for you. In fact, I've talked to a couple people, and they
Mhm.
say, the game actually plays very similar to Neo. So it could be. I don't know. It could be
Okay.
because I've never played Neo. So
Me neither.
it could absolutely be your thing. Don't let me stop you. I'm not telling you not to get it. Let's just be absolutely clear. I'm just saying that based on the demo, I didn't feel like it's a thing for me,
Oh, sure.
or at least not high priority. Like maybe in the game comes down in price on a discount, I might swoop it up just to give the full game to try. But at least for right now, for me, it is not a first day purchase. How about you, Derek? What do you think? Is
Uh,
think something that you might be interested in?
Not particularly. I mean, it just action RPGs. I feel like a lot of them these days feel pretty samey,
Hmm.
And the ones that I want to be hardcore are the ones that are coming from Soft, right? From software.
Of course it is. Of course
So
it is.
I mean, because I
Yeah.
really enjoyed Dark Souls, and I
Mhm.
feel like I'll probably really like Elden Ring. I mean, based on all the tens it got, I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna. Well, maybe not everybody, but some people
Oh
would probably
boy.
prefer it. But
Elden Ring is just hitting all kinds of great numbers.
I
I'm
know,
super excited for them.
I
Yeah.
know, I'm feeling like I'm really missing out, really, but uh, it's just not a priority. Most of these
Yeah.
aren't really a huge priority. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I kind of miss the lighter hearted, like happy go lucky turn based RPGs of my youth. Like now everything's got to be super edgy.
I'm sorry. What was super lighthearted that didn't involve you killing some like god-like entity at the very end?
Yeah, touche.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
I don't know. Final Fantasy IV never felt super like dark and gritty though. Like, sure, dark and gritty things happened in it, but it was like a bright and
Mhm.
colorful game. Like games had color back in the day, and this just looks like muddled gray. Different shades of
Mhm.
gray.
But that's Nomura's fault. That's just
You can't.
he doesn't.
I mean, okay. So Kingdom Hearts, Kingdom Hearts 3
Mhm.
that's Nomura's, and it was
Mhm.
very bright and colorful. I will give it that.
Mhm.
You know,
Absolutely. Maybe too colorful.
maybe
I am
no.
just being nitpicky at this point. Yeah, so yeah, I'm with you. It's something that looks interesting, but just not a high priority.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
just doesn't jump out at me and be like, play me the way that certain other games do.
Yeah. So what's like the most recent game that said play me, Derek?
Well, Chrono Cross Remaster is one of them. Triangle Strategy definitely grabbed my full attention.
Mhm.
Maybe I'm just an old school gamer and I don't even know it.
I think you are, and that's okay.
Uh,
You guys heard it here first. Triangle strategy coming because Derek said, "Yep, yep, yep, yep." There you go. Yep.
mhm. I mean,
Y'all
I did
hear
make.
here
I mean,
first.
not to just plug my older videos or anything, but I did
Mhm.
recently put together that 12 RPGs to get excited for. That I am all excited for. This one wasn't in that list though.
Yeah, definitely go and shame him into playing Triangle Strategy soon. We can get it over with.
I mean, I'll
Um,
tell you, I did buy a copy today. So
oh well, everybody, you got everybody's full attention now.
so worst case scenario, it'll at least look really nice right behind me in that list of you can look at Triangle Strategy in the background.
Yes. Yeah, speaking of triangle strategy, boy, I'm still a little I'm still a little mad that we didn't get a awesome limited edition in North America. They have
Mhm.
one in Europe, they have one in Japan, but
Yep.
just not us.
Yeah. I was gonna say cool thing about the theme here that you can get with this bonus here is that you don't have to print it out.
But hey, if we got any Europeans watching right now, just FYI, I'm looking for that limited edition. That is a scalper price. Um, I don't know if they still exist out there, but boy, if it still exists out there,
What
let me know,
things
man.
that aren't a scalper price? No, they don't exist.
Yeah. Talk. I looked on eBay. You know how much they're selling a copy of like an open copy of the limited edition Triangle Strategy right now on eBay?
No.
$190. I'm like, okay, like how much was it originally? 89 pounds. So, about like let's say 110, right? Like well, maybe not even that. Like 100, well, let's say $110 with tax. I'm
Yeah.
just like, what? You're charging how much for this? Oh boy. But anyways, just
Yeah.
give me a call. DM me. DM me. DM me. Anyways, yeah, so that's all the games that's coming out this coming week. We need to let you guys know so that you're aware. If you've been waiting for games to come out, now you know. So we'll continue to let you all know if there are games that will come out, within a week of the show. So you won't be missing any of these. But now let's move on to games that, well, won't come out for a while, but just got announced.
For sure. So we got
Yeah.
one here called Overlord Escape from Nazarick. Nazarick?
Yes.
Okay, Nazarick.
Nazarick, yes.
Nazarick. Okay. Yeah, so it's
Nazarick, yeah.
based on the Overlord light novel. This is a Metroidvania style game with an original story from series creator Kugane Murayama. So I guess it follows Clementine as she fights through the tomb of Nazarick in order to regain her memories and escape from the tomb. Yeah.
Yes. So this actually just got announced yesterday, and I saw this today, and I'm like, oh, gonna add it to the docket. This is a very last minute edition. So yes, expect this game to come out sometime in this year on Switch and the PC. And I did glance over the chat right now. The anime, you mean? It's like, yes, all the same. The light novel, the anime, that Overlord has a spin-off game called Escape from Nazarick. So do you want to take a look at a quick trailer so people can get an idea what it looks like?
Yep. You bet.
Sure. This one's going to be a short. Yes.
Oh, it just goes straight in on the gameplay here. Oh, I think I picked the gameplay trailer, didn't I?
Oh no, that is the trailer. Yes.
Okay, this is just the trailer. Okay.
Yeah. And it looks pretty good.
Yeah. And I can see some of that Castlevania
that
influence there.
Castlevania, yep. Mm-hmm.
A little bit of that a la carte, like after image deal going on. Looks super cool.
I know that we have a lot of Metroidvania fans here, so whenever I see some pretty cool ones, I do try to include them. I'm not a big fan of the genre, but you guys are, and quite frankly, that's what really matters.
For sure.
That looks really good.
That does look really cool.
So there you go. That's coming on Switch and Steam.
Oh. And that one's also from Kadokawa, hey?
Kadokawa is huge.
Yeah, they are.
Kadokawa is huge. Yeah. So there you go. That is from the Overlord series. You will get to fight some Overlord characters. Now, some fans of Overlord, I'm sure, will pick up that Clementine is in fact a antagonist in the anime series. But remember, this is an original story from the series creator. So, how much of this is canon? How much of this does follow the anime or the light novel? We don't really know. So, but hey, if you're a fan of the series and you like Metroidvania game, this is for you. So, as it comes closer to release date, we'll definitely keep you posted.
So how about that state of play, dude?
Oh God. Here we go. You mean the state of playing?
Yeah. Gosh, I mean, to be totally honest, I was mostly underwhelmed with what I had to see. At first, I wasn't really entirely sure. After I watched it live. I wasn't sure how I felt about it. The first thing I thought though was when Ghostwire was like starting things off, and yeah, Ghostwire, I think it looks really interesting. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Actually, do you want to just take a look at the trailer real quick for Ghostwire?
Do it however order you want.
Okay, yeah, we'll watch the trailer because that's how they started State of Play. So I feel like let's just go through it that way. But yeah, the first thing I thought when I was watching this trailer was, man, I was thinking, man, Yokai Watch went nuts. They've really changed over the years. I mean, honestly, Ghostwire seems like it'd be up my alley.
Oh, I'm actually excited about this.
So it looks kind of like a Japanese yokai watch mixed with what's that game called? That game series, Mass
Skyrim?
Effect. No, not Mass Effect. BioShock. BioShock.
Yeah.
Yes, it's reminds me of BioShock meets Yokai Watch, but obviously like way more. Obviously though, trying to be way more serious than Yokai.
The yokai's not your friend in this one. No, absolutely not. Please, I would not want to catch any of these.
Was that the girl who asks you if she's pretty when she's wearing the mask?
Yes.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that.
I forgot the full name, but it's like the mouth opening.
Yeah.
Thing. Yes.
This could be really cool. So yeah, that was the trailer for Ghostwire.
Yes. So
still, it's a PS5 exclusive according to that trailer. Not coming to PS4, unfortunately.
Yes.
So
it is a PS5 exclusive. Yes.
So it's going to sell about 5 copies.
PC.
Oh, is it all? It's also
going
coming
to PC.
to PC.
It's going to PC. Yeah, it's going to PC. Yeah. I double checked from their website. I went to the Bethesda website. So
wait, Bethesda did this?
Yes, this is a Bethesda game.
Oh.
I
didn't see them on here, but okay, cool.
Well, so it's developed by Bethesda, but it's got a good amount of Japanese, like a veteran developer on staff. One of whom, her name is Ikumi Nakamura. You know, she was on E3. She was kind of like the E3 darling a couple years back. I don't know if you remember her.
I do. I remember everybody just thought she was just so sweet and adorable.
Yes. She was the creative director of this game. I think she quit like sometime in the middle of it because of health concerns. But she for a long time she was the creative director for this game. So they've got a good like Japanese team on staff to make sure that things feel very authentic, like the language, the script. Like, so I respect them for going the distance to really try to, instead of like a Western imagining of Japan, is more like it's a Western company but funding like a mixed
Japanese production
team.
Basically.
Yeah. So I think it's pretty cool.
Right. I'm kind of surprised.
Not like what is it? Ghost of Tsushima, right? Like that's another one that I felt like they did a really good job, right?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this is going to be something similar to that in terms of the maybe like the accuracy of the yokai that they're talking about, some of the lores, because a lot of these are like actual folklore monsters, right? So
yeah, that's something that that really stood out to me for sure.
Yeah. Man. So, did you hit play? What?
Yeah. I was trying to see the spot in the trailer here, where it mentioned Bethesda, because I didn't see that a Bethesda logo on here. But I mean, I don't distrust you. I'm just like, man, is there any indication anywhere in here?
Yeah, right there. 2022 Bethesda software, right at the bottom.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Wow, in that really tiny, like fine print on that end screen.
They're not trying to sell Bethesda name here. They're trying to sell this. Which you know,
I appreciate that.
To some extent, I think that's pretty cool. Like, let the work speaks for itself.
And I guess this must have been in the works prior to Bethesda being acquired by Microsoft. Otherwise, they probably wouldn't have led the state of play.
I believe so.
So
Yeah.
that's
So
interesting.
Really cool.
That was the first thing I watched when I turned on the state of play, and I was like, man, Yokai went hard.
Oh my god. I was wondering what you were talking about. But yeah, so this is super awesome, and I can't wait. I think it's really cool. There is a free visual novel called Ghostwire Tokyo Prelude, the corrupted case file, that's available right now. So you can go, if you want to, play this visual novel, that's absolutely free. You can get it right now on actually, I think it's actually on PS4 for some odd reason.
Huh.
It's on PS4 and PS5, the visual novel, but somehow the game is only available on PS5.
I mean, it looks pretty gorgeous. I can understand.
Yeah.
I feel like I can see why it might be a PS4 or PS5 exclusive.
PS5, yeah.
It was
So
pushing graphics, for sure.
But man, it looks gorgeous, and I'm actually super stoked about it. We do have some more news about Ikumi Nakamura, so if you're a fan, stay tuned as we go through all the PlayStation State of Play.
Yeah. So I guess we can just finish the rest of these in the order that they're in the dock, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So then I think that the next one, correct me if I'm wrong, is Forspoken. Is that right?
Is it Forspoken? Are we skipping Exoprimal?
Oh god dang it. I even highlighted it and I'm like, oh yeah,
You highlighted it. I was like, anyways.
I told you that
you.
your brain power is gonna be carrying to the stream.
I got you. By the way, I just wanna throw it out there. I was telling you about this earlier too. The show that we did, the HitPoint that we did about Nintendo Direct is exactly 1 month ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's exactly 1 month ago. Which I thought was such a crazy coincidence. I'm just like writing this thing. It's like, didn't I do all this before? Oh right, Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was exactly a month ago. I was looking at all the docket dates. I was like, I think it was like February 13th. But anyways, yeah. So that was pretty cool. Kind of coincidence. Now Exoprimal, we're not going to talk a whole lot about it other than just kind of how funny it is. It is developed by Capcom. It is an online only multiplayer PvE game where players assume different roles to fight dinosaur outbreaks in exoskeleton mech suits. Yeah, I know, exciting. Yeah, so the reason why we're even talking about this is because who else thought it was going to be a Dino Crisis game? Who else saw that and immediately go, oh, Dino Crisis, Capcom, oh my god, a redhead, Dino Crisis, and then like, no, it's not. It is not Dino Crisis. So sorry, fans, it is absolutely not Dino Crisis. But if you're interested in this game, it is have a 2023 release date. So yay, online only games. It's the same bros who are playing Babylon Falls. Say, oh yeah, I can't wait to play more of these. Yeah, 2023, man, keep waiting. It ain't Dino Crisis though. Now, next game.
All right,
the games that I'm actually excited about. Forspoken.
Yes.
So, Forspoken is developed by Square Enix. Like, Square Enix is just coming out swinging this year.
Yeah, they are.
Oh my god,
they really are.
Oh my god.
I mean, we were talking about this game last week also, but this was before it was really right when we were talking about Luminous Studios, Forspoken. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's developed by Square Enix. Yeah. So we did talk about it before. We got some trailers now that you can watch. We talked about it. It got pushed back from May to October release, which I'm actually a little disappointed about.
Yeah, that's what we talked about last week. It was how it got pushed back. But now we've got an actual a new trailer for it and everything to kind of see what it all is. So shall we?
Yep. Yes. So, did you want to see the not the E3? I want to say E3. Do you want to see the state of play trailer? Or you want to watch the gameplay trailer?
I picked the gameplay trailer this time
Let's do the gameplay trailer.
because I feel like that's really going to be what makes or breaks my interest in this game. So let's
Yep.
give that a go.
Yep. Let's go. So yes, this is still in production. I believe I got this from Famitsu.
Okay,
And we'll talk a little bit about the plot in just a second. Actually, I can do it right now. So,
Wow.
this game is an action RPG that follows Frey. Frey is a young woman from New York who's been isekai'd over to the world of Thea, which is where you're seeing right now. That's
Yeah.
right. I think she's from like Brooklyn or whatever. Like I forgot what her actual backstory is, but just know that she's a New Yorker. Now Frey can use her newfound magical abilities to find her way home. That's sort of like the premise of the game. She's trying to get back to her world with these like magical abilities that she's gained in this isekai. Oh, and see, isekai it is. Kind of open world. I'm not sure if it's open world, but it certainly looks like it is. Give me like a semi-open world. Kind of
Yeah.
like Nier Automata, where like you have different zones, and within each of the zone is open world. I'm not sure.
It
but
looks
we shall
pretty
see.
darn open.
It looks pretty darn open. So here's the menu where you can see, like the magic and gears. Like you'll see like a thing down there that says nails, and they'll talk about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you have like your skill tree, of course. Pretty standard affair at this point. Then gears, of course, also pretty standard affairs. But you do have equipment, so
I gotta be honest. This is looking way more interesting to me than
And
I
then-
expected.
yeah, the nails is how you can like amplify her magic by printing different like runes or whatever on her nails. That's why
Okay,
there's like
that's-
a nail page. Yeah.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah. Let's watch some battles.
So
You want to skip through a little bit?
Wait, you're not
I
serious.
kinda, but kinda
Yeah.
not. Here, you go ahead. You can go ahead.
No,
you skip
do,
ahead.
Do you? I think they're gonna fight soon, anyways.
I was gonna say you have better access to skipping around controls because I'm in full screen and it won't let me. There you go.
There you go.
Thank you.
So you can
That
lay
is
traps.
gorgeous. That game is gorgeous
Yeah.
looking. Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
this is just like production. This is pre-production. This is not even like, optimized. So like this feels very like Nier Automata sort of like gameplay for me.
Yeah, I can kind of see that. Oh god,
Yeah.
are those zombies?
Of some sort.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. Up.
This'll do it.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yeah. The slow motion when you're going down
Switching
through your.
skills.
Oh, so there's like no pause. I mean, it does slow time a little bit, but it's
Yeah.
Kinda guessed that already.
you can't really use that as a crutch to think for a while.
Yeah. I am so excited for
That's
this.
what I like.
Yeah,
Got one for ya.
yeah, that looks cool.
I'm so excited for this. So excited for this.
I was not expecting to think this was cool.
Me neither. I really wasn't expecting that until I started watching some of the gameplays, and I'm like, whoa, okay, now you got my attention.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
you got my attention. So yeah, absolutely phenomenal looking game. And it's coming out in October 11th. Fingers crossed that they don't change the date again, but if they do, don't get mad because
Mhm.
I firmly believe, especially now with the pandemic and stuff, like, the delays are sort of inevitable.
Mhm.
But hey, if that means that they can come up with a more polished game when I pay for it, I want it to be good. So sure. And also, we've got so many games to play in 2022. Are you really like lacking games to play?
Yeah, I
You're
know.
not.
I was gonna
Don't
say,
kid.
by the way,
Yeah.
when you said what's the last game that you saw that said that screamed "Play Me"
Mhm.
right now? That's a new one. That one is screaming.
Yeah.
It's screaming it
Yeah.
at me. I want to get lost in that world.
Yeah.
I did not
think
expect. I did not expect that.
yeah, I did not expect this. I like that they're trying to do a really strong female protagonist. So I'm really hoping that they don't mess this up, please.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Okay. So the next game is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Not a JRPG, but something worth talking about. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure All-Star Battle R. It's developed by CyberConnect 2 and is published by Bandai Namco. This game will feature 50 playable JoJo characters from across the generations. There will be a completely new story section where you will be able to see like different people from different generation interact who like normally wouldn't. So I think that's going to be pretty interesting for some JoJo fans, because like little bits of
Yeah.
like nuggets of lore is like that's what we live off of, right?
Mhm.
So this game is going to come out in fall 2022 on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series XS, Switch, and the PC. So basically everything. You have no reason not to play it if you're a JoJo fan.
Yeah.
Of which I am actually not, but I know that JoJo fans are like super hype about this. So
For sure.
here you go, JoJo fans. I just want to remind you that this game is coming out in fall 2022.
Now, I'm going to show this trailer mostly for the very opening scene here because this psyched me out so hard.
Yeah?
Yeah, check this out.
Okay.
Have you played Persona 3 before? Because it
Oh,
features
the stupid butterfly thing.
there's a blue
No.
butterfly
Okay,
thing.
here's the thing. I saw the go. I already knew that this is JoJo.
See, and
But
then,
then you guys
that's all
see
I
the
saw.
butterfly later. Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't make out what any of that text was. I was like, man, is that Tartarus? is this the new Persona 3 that we were waiting for? And then I saw this and I was like, oh. And then I was like, oh, well, it's JoJo. But I'm also not a big JoJo fan. Like
Yeah.
so
I'm not a huge JoJo fan, but I do know all the memes, so that's the only reason why.
yeah. Okay, well, I don't have a whole lot to say about the fighting game.
Me neither.
So yeah, that's enough of that for now. So
Derek, are you sure you don't have 2 players open?
nope,
Or do I have 2 players open?
you might have 2 players open. I don't know.
I keep hearing double. It's just so weird. But anyways, yeah, let's move on.
All right.
Yeah, not to cut JoJo short, of course, but we don't have a whole lot to say about the fighting game. But other than that, it's cool that it's coming. So congratulations to all the JoJo fans. We've got a next game. It's called Trek to Yomi. It's published by Devolver Digital. I don't think they need any introduction. I think it's really interesting that they've chosen a classical samurai movie cinematic look.
It feels
Side-scrolling adventure.
yeah, it looks like a Kurosawa film. Like
Yeah.
I saw that, I'm like, huh. I saw it and I was like, that looks cool, and I feel like nobody's gonna buy it.
Yeah, it just doesn't have that oomph to it. It's
feel
very
bad.
artistic. Yeah,
Exactly. People, a lot of people who would like this kind of game are probably like us, who are familiar with Kurosawa's body of work, and like these sorts of old Japanese samurai flicks and such. Sure. And a lot of people who would probably have enjoyed the gameplay are probably people who'd be like, oh, black and white. It's just a hard sell. It is a hard sell.
Yeah,
like even
yeah.
Mad World on Wii, like it stood out in a lot of ways for having, it was a very black and white, very and red kind of game that just, I feel like it didn't sell super well, and people weren't super interested in it, despite the fact that it got pretty good reviews and was a standout title on the Wii prior to like the release of, I think it was before No More Heroes, but it had a similar sort of like over the top presentation style, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just unfortunate. But that's part of the reason why I want to, share that game too, because I do believe that there is like a market for these. It's probably not going for mass appeal, unfortunately, but just if you want something, pretty unique and plays well and is polished, like this is it.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, I might pick it up. I'm not even big on. I'm really not big on side scrolling, but I'm intrigued. If the price is right, I'll pick it up.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. Because, you know,
Look at how beautiful that is.
I know. A lot of people say that video games are art, right?
Yeah.
Or that games are literature. I agree. I agree with that
The
statement.
movement is super fluid too.
And I feel like this is the sort of game that exemplifies games as being art.
Yes, absolutely.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of Onimusha, a little bit. But if Onimusha was black and white. Because he's going through the underworld now, fighting ghostly apparitions of other samurai.
So I
so cool.
explained before that Yomi is like sort of another word for hell.
Yeah.
A little archaic. Like I don't think they would call hell Yomi in modern Japanese, but if someone has the word Yomi in the title, like they know it's about hell. So
Yeah.
there's all these like actors, I feel like, that probably mean a whole lot more to like the Japanese audience. We're just like, who are these people?
Yeah, that's also something that I thought of.
Yeah.
Are a lot of these actors who are no longer are they current day actors, or are they like older actors from like older films?
No idea.
Me neither. Like I was wondering, it's like, are some of these people that they're featuring, are they from like the actual Kurosawa films? Like, is that what I'm seeing here? But I can't tell.
Yeah, I can't tell either, but I feel like they've done that for deliberately, right? Like they want to sort of like connect you to like those movies by being like, oh, here are the actors. Like this is like a movie trailer. So I thought that was a nice touch. I don't know if people caught that, but or they felt that it was weird. Like, why are you talking about all of these people? Like, who are these people?
I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
I hope it sells well, because I want to see more of that sort of stuff in the future, especially in JRPG form.
Yes,
because I'm watching this and I'm
like,
and I'm wondering, like, is this going to be something that I'll be able to play in the game collection or something, or is this just something that like I'll be like, oh, that's cool, but I gotta let it pass?
Yeah. I want to see what price it is and how long it is. If it's like not a long game, like say it's like let's say it's a 20 hours game, right?
Yeah.
20-30 hours game. I would strongly consider picking it up.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna come and tell me this is an 80-hour game, first of all, how are you doing this for 80 hours? Like what? But if it was, I don't think I can slot that in. But like, anything 30 hours or south of that, I would strongly consider it.
Yeah. Now, cool thing about well, I don't know. You just told me that Yomi means hell, which is, you know, working on my Japanese vocabulary, and I'm connecting dots. Yomi was also the name of Ark's companion in Terranigma, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. That could have been foreshadowing. Had I known that. Anyway,
now you know why I like listening to Japanese original subs instead of dubs. Because there's a lot of these things laced out in the dialogues and stuff that gets lost in translation. So
oh yeah,
makes
sense.
It's the thing. All right.
So you know what?
To,
I think at this point that you know, you were probably expecting us to start talking about Valkyrie Elysium, but no. Instead, it's me, Diofield Chronicle.
I knew it. I was like, wait, I'm like, oh, you want to talk about the next game? Okay, that's fine. And I'm like, oh God, no, 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 no. Like, I'm hearing it come.
I had to. Somebody had to. I mean, we had a JoJo game earlier in the up. It was pretty much mandatory, and I wonder if. All right, but seriously, we got this other game that looked really interesting coming from this was Square Enix also. They put up
Yes.
They pretty much saved
They are swinging.
Yes. Yeah, they pretty much saved the state of play for me. Like I feel like up to this point, like it had some pretty interesting stuff. Like the one we just saw, the Ghostwire. That was also really cool. Like it was some stuff that was kind of interesting. Some stuff I kind of like slept through a little bit, but then Square Enix came through, and between the trailer for Diofield and another one here we'll talk about in a minute. It's like wow, that was They
no one saw that coming. Square Enix kept all these under wrap. Like what?
Yeah. So this is a real-time tactical battle RPG from Square Enix, where players will be following the main characters of a mercenary group, the Blue Foxes, in the kingdom of Alatane. So as it prepares to drag... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay. As it prepares itself to be dragged into the conflict between the Empire and the Alliance.
I'm looking at the same docket, man. Go for it.
All right. So yeah, this one's coming out on in 2022. God, what a packed year we have. And it's coming to all major platforms basically. So that's exciting. That I mean, just take a look at the trailer.
Yes, let's please do it.
Okay. Let's see. Is this the right trailer?
Is this really what you?
Yeah.
This is the fourth time of me looking at this, maybe fifth.
Yes.
Looking at this a couple of times.
Like I think I prefer my strategy RPGs to be grid based, just because that's what I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
But this does look all right. And I was seeing this and I was like, at first I was like, oh my God, is this going to be a new Final Fantasy Tactics game?
I thought that, or maybe a new Tactics Ogre.
Yeah.
But no, neither. I was really leaning towards Tactics Ogre just because of the art style. But yeah, because if they're gonna talk about Final Fantasy Tactics, they're gonna talk about like the Ivans whatever. Yeah, but then they didn't, so I'm just like, no, maybe Tactics Ogre, like maybe they're finally doing something with that IP. But look at the gameplay. So that's the real time.
Yeah,
that's where the real time. So when you choose to do the attack matters in the placement. Yeah, and I think that's pretty cool.
I am curious if I'm gonna be able to do this. Like I'm watching this and I'm like, it's been a little while since I played StarCraft.
I mean, there's some like slight pauses, like when you go into menu, you can pause it. Unlike Forspoken just now, where like you go into menu during battle, like it's not like a complete freeze, like it just slows down. Like this looks like if you go into right before the knight used the skill just now, like I feel like that was a complete like frozen screen.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe they may even have an option like kind of like Final Fantasy VII where like you can kind of choose like, oh, is it going to be slowly moving still while in the menu?
Oh,
or
like is active versus wait, basically.
Yeah. So I feel like they could do it either ways, like if people they could make it more challenging by having it like just full like real time, or like slow down or just wait, because some people like they just can't really deal with it. So like. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see how they would do this.
Because that's my first worry was like, am I going to be able to manage that? Like, I don't know. And it looks like because you're going to be controlling a bunch of units, trying to like point them all out, for like coordinated attacks and stuff. It's like how will that work? I don't know. I'm sure that there's other games that have done something similar, but I remember Grayson was actually recently playing through an Xbox 360 title that
Mhm.
was just really hectic, and I can't remember which one it was, but it looked like it played in a similar way, that it was kind of tactical, but you kind of issued your commands kind of prior, but it was kind of free form.
Mhm.
And I was like,
It's
oh
like
man,
Lancaster or Landgrosser, Gross Lancer. It's one of those. Like
La-
I can't
no,
remember
it
the
wasn't.
name.
It
Yeah.
wasn't Langrisser. It was.
Yeah.
I'm not sure which one it was
It's not
anymore.
Langrisser. Langrisser is
Yeah, that was
the
something
one that
else.
plays more like Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's like, but it's one of the later titles, like, because they completely changed the way that the game plays. I'm pretty sure it's called Glow Lancer.
Growlancer. Growlancer. No, that wasn't it. That's not the one I was
Growlancer.
thinking of either. That, I mean, he might
Oh,
have
it's
played
not
it, but that's
Growlancer?
no, that's not the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can remember it.
Yeah, yeah. But it feels like one of those later games. Definitely
Uh,
not Langrisser,
I
but
think it was
it feels
Infinite.
like.
I think it was Infinite Undiscovery. That
Oh, yeah, that's a game. That's a game. That's a game. Yeah.
when I saw
I think
it,
that game.
that's what my mind went to. And I was like, oh, that looks
Mhm.
like. Ooh, is that going to be? Oh, I hope it's not super complicated. I don't know.
Yeah. We'll have to just wait and see. There's just not enough to go off of at this moment, but it looks good. I'm excited for it. I want to see more. Yeah, and yeah, and so this game is going to come out sometime in 2022. So fingers crossed that you will get to play it soon.
Yet another 2022
Yet another
title.
2022. Yeah. Oh my God, Square Enix, dude. Like, you're killing me. Like, I don't know what to say about you right now. All right.
Well, here's what you can say about them: is the next game that they announced, eh?
Oh my God. This is the one that I'm super excited about. I'm so excited about this one. So okay, so let's go back again to Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
When Nintendo Direct happened, like towards the very end, I was like, that's Xenoblade! Oh my God, no, it's Xenoblade! And then this one is, I was like, oh my God, it's Valkyrie Profile! Oh my God! So I had that same like feeling of excitement because I'm a pretty big Valkyrie Profile fan, but the second game just didn't do it for me, and the spin-offs just hasn't done it justice. I'm just really hoping that this one will do it. So do you want to talk about it first? Do you want to take a look at the trailer? What do you want to do?
Let's start with a trailer, because this,
Let's go.
a trailer is worth 1,000 words, and
No, more than 1,000.
yeah, probably, depends how many frames it is. That is
Yeah, so I
pretty
wasn't sure
pretty
what
visual
we're looking
style.
at still. And then I'm
Mhm.
like, oh. I'm like, huh, that looks like a Valkyrie. I'm like, okay. Really looking like a Valkyrie there. The music kind of helps too. I'm just like, I was like, no, Valkyrie Profile, get out. It's real time. What? This is action combat.
I feel like a lot of people were really split on that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Which side of the aisle do you sit on here?
I'm all for it. I mean, look, if the game plays well, I could care less what you want to do. If
So
the game
you're-
plays well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could totally
need-
see that.
Yeah. I just need you to play well.
Yeah. So this is one of those things where when it became clear it was Valkyrie Profile, I was like, oh, this is going to be controversial.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This is kind of like the opposite. I keep bringing this up. This is kind of like the opposite of the Yakuza series. The Yakuza went from like action to turn-based as a main line.
Yeah.
Whereas this is the opposite. Like, it's going from turn-based to action, right? So
Yeah.
You're always going to have someone who's going to be like, oh, I only want it to be that and nothing else, which is fine. I mean, it's fair. That's what you want.
Yeah.
But from my personal perspective, if it plays well, then it plays well. I like all kinds of games. So
Your efforts to remain
this looks
undetected are lacking.
so good. This looks so
Reveal
good.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're not like huge on action, but
Ah,
what do you feel? What do you think of this so far, though?
okay. So what I saw of the action is that it looks to be totally open and honest. It looks a little samey. Like the combat itself looks like something I've seen. Like it looks like a bunch of action RPGs that I've seen before and never played.
Hmm.
Um, you
That's
know,
fair.
it,
Yeah.
and it's probably because Square Enix has been making a lot of action RPGs that I've never
Lately.
played. Um,
Yeah.
and it's just they've got that dashing around, warping around mechanic that just is like makes it kind of hard for me to love because it just seems like
Mm.
a kind of a weird gimmick that just seems to be pervasive throughout everything that they've done. I don't know if that's actually true or not, but it's just like
Mhm.
like seeing people like warp in and out of existence, warp behind people. It's like, man, that seems unintuitive and confusing to try to keep your head wrapped around. That was my initial gut reaction. It just looks like something I've seen before, you know.
I'm still waiting for Derek to play Nier Automata. Like it's just such a great game that I could write like I could do a video essay on just how great this game is, and I never did, and I probably never will because I'm too lazy to do that. But I have enough to say about it that I could do it. So I'm just still so shocked that you have not played that game yet. Um, but maybe one of these days we'll be able to shame him into complying. But yeah, so Valkyrie Elysium, it is a fast-paced action RPG in the next installment to the Valkyrie series. Players will have the ability to summon um I don't know how to pronounce this word, but I'm going to go with the pronunciation from like the Valkyrie profile, which is probably also wrong, which is the on Harrier.
It looks
To
like
fight alongside
Ein
uh,
Einherjar.
yeah, right. But
Einherjar?
if you listen to the Valkyrie profile, like the original English from the PS1 era, it said something like on Harrier, but I don't know
Okay.
why it's pronounced that way. Don't at me, okay? I'm telling you now that that's probably wrong.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see chat right now. Oh no, you uncultured swine! That's not how it's pronounced. I'm telling you now that I know what I just said is absolutely wrong.
Baku
But
could
bear
pronounce
with
it.
me.
You could pronounce it correctly if they spelt it in kanji,
Ju- exactly.
or
If
not
it was
kanji, but
Japanese, I would be able to
yeah,
do it.
yeah.
To fight alongside the Valkyrie in battle, so you can like like real time summon them. Like I don't know if it's gonna be like a skill or can you summon like a like NPC to fight with you. I don't know how that's gonna work. This game will feature music from Matoi Sakuraba if you're interested in that.
Now
And for
he
those who
is
yeah,
the guy from behind Star Ocean, right?
Star Ocean, the Tales series, Dark Souls, even,
Really?
and the original Valkyrie profile. Oh,
Oh,
this guy's like a decorated,
yeah, yeah.
like ooh.
I
I mean,
remember.
have you not heard of Sakuraba? What?
Yeah,
No,
I remember talking about
yeah,
Sakuraba in my review of Tales of Fantasia and Star Ocean's second story, I think. So yeah.
yeah. This man has done a lot for the like the gay music, community. So but he is going to be the main person in charge of music, and so that's the only like big name person that I've heard associated to this project so far. So that's what I'm reporting. I've got to say though, when I watched as excited as I am for this game, when I'm watching the trailer,
Mhm.
it sort of had like the opposite effect of well, kind of opposite effect of Stranger Paradise. Stranger Paradise, everything's just dark and gloom.
Yeah.
This is like
Super
everything's
bright
just like
and
washed out.
mm,
Like everything's just gray and stone, just like WTF. Like
I kind of
I
dig
don't
it
know.
a little bit. I mean,
Ugh.
I know I complained about it being really dark and gloomy and stuff, but like or shades of gray.
Mhm.
Um, it's it
Ex-
it does seem a
How
little
many shades? How
pastel.
many shades? How many shades of gray, Derek?
About
How many shades of gray?
maybe I don't know, maybe 9,001. Um,
Yeah, I mean, if it works with the worldview, it might actually work to create some sense of gloom. And which, if you play the original Valkyrie profile, of course, it's all about that dreaded, like the dread that like the impending doom is coming, right? Because Ragnarok is coming, whether you like it or not. That's the whole thing with like these sort of like Norse mythology.
Yeah.
So I kind of see how that could work. But you know, that there's me understanding it in like a philosophical sense, but then there's me as like a game player who like could care less about philosophy and just wants like a good game to play.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm hoping it can satisfy like the both sides of me and just like have like a really good game. We'll see. This game is going to come on PS4, PS5, and PC in 2022. No other systems. So this is a PlayStation semi-exclusive.
Is it like a timed or?
I have no idea.
I guess
I'm
it's
just
also on
saying that.
PC, so it's
Yeah,
not
yeah. I
exactly
mean,
exclusive. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's available on PC. So, but
Yeah.
yeah. I'm just saying semi as in like it's not on Xbox, it's not on Switch. So
I
as far
gotcha.
as console is concerned, it's Sony only.
Yeah. And so right after watching State of Play and it wrapped up with this, I threw it out there to Twitter to say like, what were your thoughts on State of Play? And I was kind of surprised by a lot of what I heard back. And that's one of the reasons that I named today's episode, State of Playing, because it's like a lot of people were like, I was underwhelmed. A lot of people
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people felt like they were very underwhelmed with what they saw, and I can probably see that from a perspective of a very certain perspective where maybe you don't care about JoJo fighting games, or maybe you don't care about real-time tactical RPGs. Maybe you don't care so much. I mean, like, I guess from a lot of perspectives, from you might even think from my perspective, where I only care about old school turn-based RPGs, that this might have been a little bit lacking. I feel like some of that is that Sony played it up. They played up that whole Japanese developed thing. Like this is, they kind of played it up to be like, oh, this is the big like Japanese developers thing. So you might expect a lot more of Japanese RPGs, at least within a certain circle of people. We were expecting that. Like when I saw that the State of Play would do that, I was like, hey, this is something to keep an eye on because it could be really big, maybe.
Yeah.
But then, some people were disappointed when they saw the Valkyrie being not like they changed up the battle system entirely to be action oriented instead. And that could be a little bit disappointing, I guess, if you really just are in love with the way things were with the original Valkyrie profile games. But
yeah, absolutely.
So that's why I was kind of like, I don't think it was boring. I don't think that it was lame or anything like that. But I do feel like, if you went in with expectations, I guess I could see how you might come away that way. A lot of people who responded to that tweet said that they were expecting or hoping for some Dragon Quest 12 or some Final Fantasy 16. And I'm like, I get where you're coming from and I appreciate that. But here's the thing. This ain't E3. This ain't Tokyo Game Show. This is
right.
This is like, if they're going to release big pieces of information about the games you want to know about, it's going to be at one of those larger events, not in this sort of like, because Nintendo with their big announcements, what are they called again? The Nintendo Directs.
Direct, yeah.
Yeah, their Directs have a certain bit of notoriety because they only do those. That's where Nintendo has every few months. That is their big presentation. That's their platform. Sony's has a little bit of this, but it doesn't really get nearly the amount of traction. So it's still small potatoes even compared to a Nintendo Direct.
Right.
So, big things might get announced in a Nintendo Direct because that's the only place. That's the outlet for that sort of stuff. Sony though, I don't expect Square Enix to be like, oh yeah, State of Play. That's where I want to, drop this big announcement about Final Fantasy 12. I don't know. So I guess if you were expecting big things, it could have been probably disappointing. But I didn't go in with any expectations, and I was very pleasantly surprised. So point is, whenever you see events like this, just all I can say is hype responsibly, everybody.
Absolutely.
Hype responsibly. Expectations.
Absolutely.
Keep them in check.
temper your expectations.
For sure.
I came in, I also came in with absolutely no expectations because I'm pretty jaded with these kind of like announcements, and especially over the past couple of years, there's a lot of overpromise and under delivering, and I'm pretty jaded by it. So, but even still, I walked away, pretty pretty good. It felt pretty good. Exoprimal to start the show definitely was a mistake. I feel it's just like, why would you do this? Like, why would you do this? And then, but as it goes on, it's just kind of got better and better. And then towards the end, when I saw Diofield, I was like, okay, Square Enix is coming really hard this year, and they're trying to do a new IP, and I respect it. I respect that they're trying to do new IPs. They're not doing another Final Fantasy. They're not going to keep doing Final Fantasy and just keep milking this thing. Like, well, they are, but not. But they're also doing other things. And my gripe with Square Enix, part of it is that they will spend 80% their budget on Final Fantasy and then 20% on like 10 other games,
Hmm.
right? And half of those would be mobile, and the other half would be like I'm Setsuna, where it's like a ultra low budget production from like one of their umbrella satellite studio, trying to like sell you on nostalgia, but really like, and I'm gonna go on record to say that I think I'm Setsuna is a horrible game. Um, it could have been great, but uh, and so that's my whole thing with Square Enix. But now it seems like either their budget suddenly got larger or they are divesting. I think they get it that they can't just bet everything in
Hmm.
in a single like basket, right? They
Yeah.
gotta separate it out. So Valkyrie Elysium, and we've seen it. Like they spend some money on not a whole lot compared to Final Fantasy, but Trials of Mana. I don't know if anyone of you guys played Trials of Mana, the
Oh,
remake.
that's
That
so
was
good.
amazing, amazingly done.
Yeah, that was so
In a
great.
fraction of the cost and development time to Final Fantasy. Sure, it didn't sell half as much, but if you look at the ratio, I bet it probably sold better, like as far as like earnings concerned, right?
Yeah, yeah, for
Like
sure.
cost to earnings, right?
Hmm.
So I think they're slowly changing their tune. They're like, you know what, and Octopath Traveler again, another game that has nothing to do with Final Fantasy that's so amazingly well, right?
Yeah,
Bravely Default, same thing.
kind of
So it's
reminds
just like,
me a
okay,
bit. You've heard of the 80/20 rule, right?
yes,
Kind of reminds me a little bit of that. How, for anybody who isn't familiar with it, the 80/20 rule is that, maybe 80% or 20% of your efforts give you 80% of the quality, but then to get that
hmm,
last 20% of quality takes, 80% of your efforts, right?
yeah,
So, it sounds like Square Enix is probably realizing that, they can polish something ad infinitum and then release it in 10 years, or they could probably put together some really fun games and spend, a fifth of the time and get maybe not as much praise for some of the things that they do, but when you also do smaller scale projects, the prospect of failure is a lot less of a death
oh yeah.
sentence. Um,
Absolutely,
mhm,
absolutely. And I
yeah,
think I hope that they are finally turning around.
God,
So, I'm not. Yeah, so just to summarize, am I excited about any of these particular games? Yes, but I'm more excited about the trend that Square Enix is taking. That's what I'm the most excited about.
mhm.
Yeah. So I also asked a similar question to you, Derek, on Twitch. Not Twitch, on Twitter. But my question was, what did people think did it better? Did they think that Nintendo Direct did it better, or did they think that Sony
Ooh,
State of Play did it better? Yeah, because it was
ooh,
just a month apart.
yeah, yeah,
It's like two very similar showing of like show of force, if you will,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
That's basically what it was. It was just Nintendo and Sony flexing, right? Like,
Yep.
here are the games to expect for this year, guys.
So
Um,
can I just
yeah.
throw my hat into this, and you can tell me what other
Oh,
people said,
oh no,
but
absolutely. I want to hear what you think.
Nintendo trounced Sony. If we're comparing the two presentations as from a very certain perspective of somebody who loves RPGs specifically, and everything else is kind of like, oh, that's neat. Nintendo won. Nintendo definitely trounced Sony.
Hands down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Live Alive. Come on, dude. That's
absolutely true. Front Mission.
Yeah.
I mean, heck, I mean, here's the thing. Nintendo didn't just have like the sort of like the nostalgia crowd. They also had Xenoblade Chronicles 3, which is like, well, if you didn't like the old school stuff, how about this one? Try this for size, right?
Yeah.
It's absolutely great. Yeah.
It's not exactly a competition though. Like, I mean, it kind of was, but kind of not. Like, not intentionally. And the fact of the matter is though that when they compete, you know who wins? Who really wins? It's not Sony or Microsoft or Nintendo. It's us. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
The gamers who like the games. Yeah. Now, if you're
healthy competition,
if you're in it for the console war, then you're always going to be disappointed because nobody's ever going to win. But but yeah, the games look so great.
If you're a PC master race, like consoles are here to stay. All right, just give it up. Like consoles are not going anywhere. Like, I'm sorry. Listen, I'm with you. Okay, I have like a pretty expensive tower that I use to game. Like, I've been building computers basically all my life, but no, the consoles are here to stay. I'm telling you.
Yep.
Stop wishing it away.
I know.
Just game on everything. Game on PC, game on console, game on everything.
Yeah. Or just use your Steam Deck and emulate everything. You know, it's fine. It's fair.
Wink, wink. Yeah, I also thought Nintendo directed it better. But not for the same reason. I felt like the games, because I was excited for both sides of like the showings from both companies, right?
Sure.
You know, you've got Front Mission that I'm excited about. Front Mission, Live Alive, Xenoblade Chronicles 3. What's that other game? There's one other game that they showed that I was like, oh, that's really cool. But whatever, like, you get the idea. But then on the other hand, you know, on the Sony side, you got like the Diofield, Valkyrie Elysium.
Oh, you were thinking of Chrono Cross. Yeah.
Absolutely not that one. Just anything, no, just not that one. Please, please. That's not funny anymore, Derek. You crossed the line. You know, Forspoken. But here's the thing. I rewatched the two, and I watched the Nintendo Direct, and the big difference to me is two. Number one, Nintendo Direct gives you solid dates on when it comes out. Something I can be actually excited about. Mark the calendar. It's coming out this day. So that's one. A small detail, but huge to me. And two, they actually show you a lot more gameplay and explain to you what's happening with like the voiceover. It's like, oh, you can do this, you can do that. This is really cool that we're bringing this to you. So I felt like that helped me got more excited. It feels more like material. You know, like it feels like I can be touching this thing in a month or two. Like it's not as ethereal as like Sony, where Sony is like, it's coming out in 2022 at some point. Do we show you battle? Sure, but we're not going to tell you what's happening. It's just figure it out. Doesn't feel as like real. You know, it could
less tangible.
Canceled. Yeah, it could just be canceled next month. I don't know. Like, it didn't feel like. But here's the thing, and just to further prove that point, Forspoken had a completely different trailer, which I linked in the and the docket for you to see. But then also linked you the gameplay trailer. And if you watch just the plain trailer, I think you're less excited. But once you saw the gameplay trailer, then you're just like, oh.
Yeah. You know, I think that's another thing. Yeah, that's another thing. Nintendo Directs tend to have way more gameplay. They're all gameplay trailers, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're very seldom
except for
cinematic
Xenoblade. Except for Xenoblade.
I mean,
that one's just too new. Yeah.
It seems like there's always at least a little gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah, so well, but the results I got anyway, oh, it's actually pretty split 50-50. A lot of folks like Nintendo, some folks like the Sony one better. So
You know
to
what?
each their own.
There is also, though, there is the matter of the recency bias, which you did not control for.
Yeah, that is absolutely true. That is
So
absolutely true. Yeah. But I agree with you. Ultimately, it doesn't matter which one you like more. What matters at the end of the day is that these two companies are going at each other real hard right now,
yeah,
and the people who benefit at the end of the days really are just us.
it
So
really
thank
is.
you. Yeah, it really is. It really is. Please go harder. Okay, so that's Nintendo not Nintendo, that's Sony State of Play. Sorry for folks who are just really waiting for us to talk about Teenage Ninja Mutant Turtle. That does not
Oh man, that was so
stop.
awesome. That was something. Yeah,
It
it wasn't
was
on the docket, but I mean,
it was so awesome, yeah.
I'm representing today. I got my
Go,
shirt.
go ahead, go ahead, go
Uh,
ahead, go ahead, go
Uh,
ahead.
I mean, yeah, it's awesome. What else do you need to say? It's a collection of like 14 Ninja Turtle titles from all across
Yes.
the retro gaming consoles. That's awesome. I'm down for it. I'm here for it. But it's not really like the meat of the show. But yeah,
Okay, so I was watching the State of Play on Twitch over my channel, and I remember when we got to the point where we were talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I was like, "Oh, psst, who's actually excited for this? What the hell? Like, what is this?"
oh, were you serious
And
when you said that, or were you
I,
joking?
half joking. I didn't grow up with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I have no feelings for it. So then, like, the chat was just like, "What do you mean? That's my childhood! Hey, hey, that's my childhood!
Let me just
Hey!"
say, regardless of whether it was your childhood, the cartoon, whatever. I mean,
Mhm.
it was my childhood, sure, but the video
Mhm.
games transcend that. They are some
Mm.
of the best beat 'em ups
Mhm.
from each generation that they represent. You know,
I remember playing that on the arcade and Super Nintendo. They were fun. They
yeah,
were fun. Um, but just because they reacted that way, I just kept pushing the buttons. I was like, "Yeah, they're trash. Next,
I
like
gotcha.
move on."
Yeah,
Um, but I've got to say that the funniest thing about that entire thing was that at the very end, when you know how like you can see like what company is involved, you see Konami, and we're just like, "Konami,
yeah, yeah. Konami,
what?"
yeah. So the producers of the Turtles games were
Mhm.
called Ultra, and that
Mhm.
was something that Konami did to get away from Nintendo of America's guidelines at the time that said you could only publish
Mm.
X number of games per year. So Konami's like, hold my beer, and they made a bunch of shell companies basically to
Mhm.
publish things under, and one of those was Ultra, so that they could get through that. So yeah, Konami, they did all the Turtles beat 'em ups.
And then Nintendo realized that didn't work, and then we had the Wii. It was
Yep.
like, oh boy. But yeah, fun stuff. Yeah, no, I don't dislike Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, but I love trolling my viewers. So I'm sorry.
No. It's mandatory.
um,
They troll you, you troll back. Just
you have to troll them
it's the
back. It's a
circle of
healthy
life.
relationship.
Yeah.
It's a circle of life. All right. All right. So that's the state of play. And hey, guys, we want to hear what you guys think. Tell us what you think was the most exciting thing about the state of play. What got you excited? Let us know in the comments. Um, so now are you ready for some industry news?
Yeah, we touched on this a little bit ago, but go for it. This
We certainly did.
mhm,
So, Ikumi Nakamura, which is again the sort of the IGN, not IGN,
E3.
the E3 darling. So she went on to, of course, work for Tango, which is a subsidiary of Bethesda, and that's the one that developed the
Ghostwire.
Ghostwire
Uh-huh.
Tokyo.
Yep.
Well, she was the creative director, but then she also left. But maybe you guys didn't know this, but she also worked on Okami and Bayonetta. So like she is a veteran. As young as she looks. Do not let that fool you. She's been in the industry for a long time. She's worked on some amazing, amazing titles. She has decided that she's going to start a new studio called Unseen.
That's
So
pretty
that's
cool.
very exciting news. Yeah. So so the reason why I said IGN is because this came from an interview with IGN.
Sure,
So
sure.
in that interview, quote from Nakamura, I decided that rather than having a company where games get made, I realized that I'd like to have a studio where artists get together and have fun making games together, and where they can be creative. Says Nakamura to in that IGN interview. So that's the reason why that's the stated reason, anyways, that she's starting this new studio. So I cannot wait to see what kind of cool stuff, Unseen will release in the future.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like she's going for like a bit of a culture shift, right? That's
Yeah,
what
yeah,
my takeaway
absolutely.
is. And it sounds like maybe that's hinting at maybe being not super happy under Bethesda. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, we have this whole talk about, like, female developers in the gaming industry. I mean, there's this whole, like, it could go from
Yeah.
just like, underrepresentation at best to actual harassment at worst, as certain company lizard. But
Yeah.
it's safe to say that this is not the most friendly environment for female developers. So
Sure.
as a prominent female developer, I'm really rooting for her to succeed. Like,
oh my
I'm
God.
talking about her, not me. I'm talking about her. Like, us.
Well, speaking
Yeah.
as a prominent
Yeah.
female developer. No, just kidding.
I'm not speaking us, but no,
Sorry.
I'm saying her as a prominent female developer.
Yeah.
Because of her position, I'm just really rooting for her.
Yeah, me too.
That
for sure.
came out kind of weird. Yes, I just realized how weird that sounded. Yes, but so I'm really rooting for her, and yeah, let's see what kind of cool stuff. And you were just talking about sort of games as like an art like medium, and it
Yeah.
sounds like that's some things that she wants to emphasize, like let's be creative, let's make
Yeah.
some art. She's emphasizing artists,
Yeah.
making games. So
Exactly.
really cool stuff.
Not
Yeah.
just, produce a product to sell, but to
Correct.
approach it from an artistic perspective. And I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. So I'm really looking forward to this.
So I'll
yeah.
cover this next one here.
Okay.
The creators of Triangle Strategy know that it's a weird name, everybody. They know it's a weird name.
Yeah.
People in my chat the other day were talking about this actually on Twitch. They were saying that it's a good game, but it's just such a stupid name. It's funny because I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't bug me at all. It doesn't offend me that it's called Triangle Strategy, but some people are like, it just has such a dumb name. And I don't know. Personally speaking, it doesn't bother me that it's called Triangle Strategy. Anyways, they know that it's named a weird name.
Yeah.
And so was Octopath Traveler. That was a weird name. And it sounds like
Yes.
they're taking a similar approach here. Tomoya Asano says, we do want the titles to have a uniqueness to them. He says that we also try to be careful that it's not outrageously weird to the point of consumers can't remember the name of the game, which,
Yes.
I mean, it's so basically he's like, we're not naming it like Nomura.
Oh man, that is like, okay, listen, if you don't think that this is some kind of what is it, some kind of shade, this is definitely shade being thrown to Nomura. I refuse to believe that Asano is not throwing shade at Nomura, because here's the thing: Stranger of Origin, that Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origin is a crappy name.
Yeah.
And it's a mouthful. It's long. Call it one or the other, right? But just like, what? Now, yeah. But on the other hand, Triangle Strategy, yeah. Is it a horrible name? Yeah, I think it's a horrible name. Does it get you talking about it? Yeah, It's probably calculated.
And it tells you something about it. You know, the triangle, there's 3 points and it's a strategy RPG. You know, like that's what you need to know is it tells you it's a strategy RPG where you're, you know, in this triangle of this hate triangle.
There are 3 factions. There are 3 factions
that are all fighting everybody else. Yeah.
Yes.
So there's that. And so I feel like it's a functional title. As opposed to something like 358 over 2 days or Birth by Sleep 0.2, a fragmentary passage.
2.8764
final chapter prologue. You know what?
Final remix.
Right? Like, like there are worse offenders out there. If you're upset about Triangle Strategy's name, you have bigger fish to fry. is my main point here.
I mean, we can only have so many tales of and legends of this and that, right? So I've gone on the Steam page sometimes just to look at what kind of like indie RPGs there may be. And wouldn't you know it, there are tons of legends of something legend, tales of whatever games that has nothing to do with the series, of course. And there could be so many of these, right? You've got to be a little bit creative, but at least, like you said, it's functional. Yeah, Octopath Travel is functional. There are 8 characters, Octo. They have their individual paths and their travelers. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Done.
Triangle Strategy does the same exact thing. I like it.
Right.
It tells you about the game in as weird a way as they can in like 2 or 3 words. I like it.
Yeah, and you keep talking about it. We're talking about it right now because of how weird it is.
Yeah. That's
free advertisement.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
free advertisement.
Exactly.
No, I actually talked to someone recently too. I was just like, oh, I didn't know that you. Oh, one of my friend. I was like, oh, I didn't know that you're such a big like Fire Emblem fan or like strategy RPG. Have you heard about Triangle Strategy? Do you think you're gonna play it? And then she was like, yeah, you know, I would if the name wasn't so freaking weird. I'm just like, what does the name have to do with the quality of the game, though? What does it matter? Why does that matter?
It shouldn't, and I don't think it does. Oh, that's bizarre.
Yeah. This is an article with The Verge. Tomoya Asano had an interview with them. We'll link it after the show. Probably tomorrow. You'll see all the links and all the timestamps. So stop asking for it. A timestamp takes time to make, guys. It takes time.
I fall asleep I fall asleep right after each of these, and I wake up and then I rewatch the podcast and I put in the timestamps and then I edit the audio version again. Like, okay,
it takes time. It takes time.
It's a lot.
But no, but it will be there. It'll be there. All the description, all the links. I did my homework. This time is actually done. So it's all on Derek now. So yes. By the way, I have a question for everyone in chat. If you get to name Triangle Strategy, especially for all the people who are like, this is a crappy name, what would you call it?
Yeah.
What would you call
it, guys? Gosh.
Yeah.
What would I call it?
I'm curious. Yeah. What would you call this game? If you get to name this anything you want.
Pretty mixed strategy face.
I would have named it Tactics Ogre 2 just to spike people. I would absolutely call this Tactics Ogre 2 just to spike all the people. But I'm curious, what would you guys call it? Let us know in the comments.
Oh, we got one here. Triangular Path Strategies. I like it.
Yeah, very, very original.
Final Fantasy Triangle Tactics.
Throw it in the comments later, please, because that way we can look at it later. Because it's really hard to see the chat.
Yep.
The way that YouTube does it, it's like it's so hard to read the chat later. But I try to, but it's just easier in the comments. Okay,
for sure.
The next bit of news I think would be pretty interesting since we've covered Nintendo Direct, we covered State of Play. We've got another one coming, and it's called the New Game Plus Expo. Have you heard of the New Game Plus Expo, Derek?
No, not really. I mean, I've heard of it in passing, but I don't think I've ever tuned in for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely going to be a lot less buzz about this than Nintendo Direct and Sony State of Play, of course. But there are a good amount of Japanese developers and publishers showcasing their games in this New Game Plus Expo. Just to name a few, Axis Games, Idea Factory, Nippon Ichi, they're all going to showcase some new stuff. So we're expecting some new titles, some new announcements, and the best thing for everyone here is that this is not like a thing that's going to happen in a couple of months. This is happening at the end of March. So March
Crazy.
31st. Yeah, I know. March 31st. You can watch the event on Twitch and YouTube at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Central. So I'm
Hey.
going to be watching this at work probably.
I was gonna say, guys, don't worry though. If you can't watch it at work, we'll catch you up on the Sunday afterward.
Absolutely. So links later in the description once that's available for you, so you don't have to search the internet. We've already done all the hard works.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
So that's it for industry news. You want to talk about the last bit, since this is like your one true love?
It's my baby. Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
baby.
So we got a little bit of fan/community news here to talk about. And that is that now you can finally read the official. I mean, hey, if you haven't already been able to, if you cannot read Japanese, but you can speak in English and can read English fluently, you can now read the official Mother 1 and 2 novels by Saori Kumi in English, thanks to a fan sub from Nyasu Noboken.
Boken, yeah. So Nasu is of course Ness. Boken just means like
Wood.
an adventure. So
Wood.
Nasu no Boken
Oh.
is like Ness's adventure. So isn't that kind of cute?
Oh, is that what it's
Nyasu,
called?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, Ness's adventure. Yeah.
I thought I was saying Nyas. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's how they say. Okay. So that's like that's the Romanji form of Ness.
Correct.
NYASSU. So, and then
Yes.
Noboken is
Boken, yes.
at first.
Adventure.
When you said Boken, I was thinking like of a wooden sword, like the Boken. You know,
Boken, yeah.
a wooden sword. But no, this means adventure. Then okay.
So there's Boken and Boken.
Yeah. Boken is the elongated O sound. Yeah. got it.
Elongated versus like a shortened like one. Yeah. Good.
Hey.
Good on you for knowing at that though.
I have a little Japanese vocabulary at my disposal, but Boken though is not something I am super familiar with.
Yeah, Boken just means adventure. So yeah, again, link gonna be in the description once we finish up the show and once they post that up, so you don't have to go scour the internet to find this thing. But hey, if you're interested in reading the official Mother 1 and 2 novels, and now completely translated in English, I actually skimmed through a little bit just to read over it. I sent it to Derek as soon as I saw the news. I was like, oh, Derek, you're not going to believe this.
I know.
It's got to be like your nighttime read now.
I've got to read this.
Yeah. If you guys are interested, it's there for you. So thank you again, Nasu Boken, for doing the translation work. You are doing a great service to the community. Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, Baku, before we wrap things up, what are you doing these days? Where can people find you?
Oh man, so I am still streaming, if you will believe it, at twitch.tv/Bakusan JRPG. Also linked down below in the description, where I'm currently streaming Yakuza Like a Dragon. It's the turn-based Yakuza game that people are so mad at. I'm liking it. I think the turn-based combat system could need some work. I mean, coming from a turn-based sort of RPG fan with job classes, it's just it's a little lacking. But I'm not mad at the direction. I hope that they will do better. And then after this game, we'll be playing Scarlet Nexus, and then I think what is it? The World Ends with You, Neo.
Ooh.
I stream Wednesday through Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Well, except for Sundays where I do the show, of course. So maybe I should say
course.
Wednesday through Saturday, not Wednesday through Sunday. Wednesday through Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern. How about you, Derek? What are you up to?
Well, that's a complicated answer because when last we left off on Friday night, I was playing through Shin Megami Tensei 5. And I started the stream by finishing the game and by defeating the boss in like the first 20 minutes. I was like, I was not expecting that to happen. So that's that. But I was like, oh, maybe I'll switch it over into New Game Plus and try to get a different ending. So I'm trying to like speed run it the entire night. And I get most of the way there, and I'm thinking, okay, do I stream more of it on Monday in order to get a second ending, or do I just not bother and switch gears to something else? I'm not 100% sure, and I need to figure something out because I need to play something. My plan initially was to play Chrono Cross, like the original Chrono Cross, before or right after SMT5, right? That was the big plan. But then they announced the remaster is coming. And I'm like, well, I may as well just get the remaster when that comes out. But I got like a month to fill. I have no idea what I'm doing for the next month. So tomorrow, I still have no idea. So I guess tomorrow I'm still trying to play SMT5, I guess. And you can find me over on twitch.tv/SuperDerek RPGs. Links in the description. I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday starting at 6 p.m. Central. Now, I think it is. I know that was a long-winded answer to the very simple question, but you know, I am great at making a short story long.
So if anyone wants to shame Derek into playing certain games, now is your chance because he doesn't know what to play. But keep it under 30 hours.
Yes, please keep it very short, and I'll sort it out on my own later. Okay, so we got some super chats to respond to, some super chads, if you will.
Oh my god!
So we got two of them from Still Alive, who says, first one is, either of you two fighting game fans? I know that this is an RPG show, but was wondering what you thought of the Street Fighter 6 reveal.
Okay. Derek, do you want to go first?
I know how to do a Hadouken in Street Fighter 2. And I used to be pretty good at Tekken, Tekken 3 and Tekken Tag. But I preferred 3 at the time. I think Tekken 4 was all right too. But anyways, so I was way more into Tekken than Street Fighter. Street Fighter 2 has really great art and some fun movies to watch, some anime movies. But I never really got big into Street Fighter. And Street Fighter 5, when I saw that a while ago, it just kind of killed whatever interest I had left in Street Fighter. And that's not to say anything like, Street Fighter 5 looked terrible. It didn't speak to me. I was like, they went away from like the pixel art, which I really loved in Street Fighter. Like the pixel art of Capcom's fighting games were phenomenal. And so I actually still have not seen the reveal of Street Fighter 6. I remember we talked about it, but I never watched the actual trailer.
Right. Yeah. We didn't watch the actual trailer. We did touch on the reveal site that we thought, well, at least I thought it was going to be Resident Evil 4 remake, but it turned out to be Street Fighter 6. Derek thought it was going to be Breath of Fire 6.
Yeah.
How wrong was he? I played a lot of fighting games growing up. And so like Darkstalker, Vampire Savior, some of the older Street Fighter games, Dragon Ball games, Tenkai. Tenkaichi. Oh, those are fun.
Tenkaichi
Those are
Budokai.
fun. Yeah, Budokai. Yeah, those were so fun. So yeah, I played a good amount of games growing up. But I think as I got older, I just like didn't really care for fighting games so much anymore. I still will pick up some fighting games every now and then just to admire the art as I'm playing it, but like I'm not playing competitively. I don't have the skill for it. I don't feel like learning the characters and
Yeah.
learning the hitboxes. It's just too much
Yeah.
for
The
me. Yes.
the meta
Yeah.
for fighting games is so
Yeah.
crazy at this point. I
Yep.
feel so incredibly daunting. So like I remember the other day, not the other day, a few years ago, time is funny like that, where I was reading up about like, you know, about the meta of you know, frames and like specifically like animation frames and like and hitboxes and stuff like that. It's like just to help me further like appreciate the complexity of the thoughts that go in at this point. It's like there's the game you see on the screen like as a casual and it looks super cool, but then there's the game that's actually taking place behind it where it's like individual split second, like everybody else can see like exactly what the other person is doing. It's just a matter of can you react within a very specific window. Like it's just, it's so beyond me that I don't, it's kind of like it's kind of like after you have you ever tried going to play a first person shooter after like 3 years of it being out and you're like, I'm brand new to this thing, I'm gonna give this my best shot and see what it's like to play this game, and then you get in there and you can't hit anybody because everybody is just
so advanced.
Yeah it's like that. It's like that to me. I feel like it's just, it's hard to get in because that's where the barrier of entry is.
Yeah,
it's beyond me.
It's because I am terrible, not because. But I do appreciate it.
It's both.
Yeah, I appreciate how you know how great these games are, and you know there's this one video that talks about like fighting game animation from Arxis. Well, actually, Arxis is the Arc
System Works.
Yeah. So for Guilty Gears, they talked about the new Guilty Gear game and how they do like a sort of like a 3D animation, but they would, you know, how they changed the frames to make it look more animated. You know, and sort of what they did for the Dragon Ball game. I forgot what it's called.
Kakura?
Fighter Z.
Oh, Fighter Z. Yeah.
Yeah, and it just looks amazing. Like they perfectly, you know, turned it into like a seamless like work of art where
It's so
they
good.
look exactly like how you imagine it from an anime, but completely blend into like the action sequence in a fighting game. Looks phenomenal. So I sort of appreciate that side of fighting games more than me actually going into playing it. But yeah.
All
Hopefully
right.
that answers the questions.
Yeah. So he had another question actually. This was from a little bit further in. Still Alive
wow.
also asked, you ever thought about bringing guests onto your show once in a while, such as David Vink or Eric Landon? Could be cool, just a thought. And yeah, we've thought about it. At first, we for a while, I think that at least my direction for the show is that we're gonna try to keep it just one-on-one for a little bit as Baku and I kind of build our rapport and build an audience and kind of establish that that back and forth. You know, I feel like we've got a pretty solid rapport already. Pretty solid. What do you call that? Chemistry, I think.
Ooh, hi, Derek.
Hey. And the more that we do this, the more natural that will seem. And then eventually we'll probably bring on some people. But also I keep forgetting that like I can switch between like Baku's face and I can switch to my face and stuff. And you know, it's like I keep forgetting to do that, and I'm still learning. But at some point, I'd like to you know, bring in other guests and they can have their own camera and stuff. There's it'd be very easy to eventually implement that, but for now I kind of want to keep it simple. But we have actually talked about bringing not just other YouTubers on, but also we've discussed video game developers as a potential. So at some point, you know, that's something that we can definitely look into.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. So here's one from Duo Beard who says that the podcast is absolute fire today. Keep it up, you two. Thank you, Duo. And then then Duo Beard did another one. He said, Final Fantasy's 35th anniversary is this year. Let's kill chaos.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. We're back at it again with the Final Fantasy origin.
Chaos.
Oh no. I was I was so done. I was so done with Final Fantasy
You
Origin.
nearly
I was
got
like,
past.
okay, we nearly got through it, but no, I just had to bring it up again. Just did you pre-order the game already, Dualbeard? Go get the game. Go get the game. Play the game. Shut up. God. I'm messing, man. I love you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, dude.
Thank you everybody so much. All right. So I think I've lost my docket. There it is. I think. Nope, that's not it.
Yep, it's a thing that exists in the ether.
There we go. All right. So that's it for super chats. That's it for everything, I think. That's the
That
show.
is it for everything. That is the wrap.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-bum. All right. But seriously, Baku, any final thoughts?
Leave us some comments. I love reading them, especially when I work the next day. I'm just like reading your comments and chuckling.
Yeah.
It gives me joy.
The comments do help. The likes also help if anybody, is watching. I don't usually like to ask for likes and subscribes and stuff, but it does help. It does help the show out, and I appreciate it. And if you happen to be listening on other podcasting platforms, rating and reviewing is super helpful as well. So thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We'll be doing this again next week on Sunday evening. So until then, I hope you have a good rest of your evening, and we'll see you then. Have a great week,
Yes.
everybody.
See y'all later.
There it is.